Hey, my name's David, founder of RIM, and I just wanted to take a minute to share the behind the scenes story of why RIM got started, how RIM got started. My pastor came to me here at my local church and was like, hey, we have a receipt problem. We trying to chase people down. We've got a smaller team, maybe a dozen people that turn receipts in, and it just, every week the secretary's trying to chase people down. And, I'm a guilty party, making sure we turn receipts in. And so I went searching. And the solutions I found had a couple issues. So either one, we had to change credit cards to use their card. We've had a Chase card since forever. We have a good relationship with Chase. We get all the benefits. With the big bank, plus we get cash back, and everyone's got the cards already. We weren't looking to change our card provider. That was the first thing I ran into. The second thing I ran into was if something worked as far as the card provider, the data and the smarts behind it were really limited. I heard from a number of people like, hey, this thing says it will read your receipt, but from one pastor in particular, he said, I've never gotten this thing to work once. And he's talking about a competing product. He's like, this doesn't work. And I pay like hundreds of dollars a month for this thing. And it doesn't work. And then the third thing I saw when researching products was user fees. They charge per user. And especially in a small church, a medium church environment, each user may be only turning in one or two receipts a month, or they may only turn in receipts, during a certain time of the year. You've got a VBS or you've got a Christmas program, or, and that's where that person turns receipts in. I don't want to pay dollars a month just to have, 1 or 2 months out of the year, have a person turn receipts in. And then the fourth and final thing that I also noticed was in these receipt management platforms, they always had to have you download an app, and it was another login that our volunteers had to remember. I mean, we've got a hard enough issue, just being frank, and I'm sure you've got similar issues, just getting our volunteers and our staff to access their email, right, and keep that kind of stuff moving. So I really didn't want to have, hey, you've got another app to turn receipts in, and you're only going to use it, every other month or 2 times a month, and then you're going to have to remember this login for this app. That just was, that didn't sit right with me. So in building RIM, it's like, hey, let's address all of these issues. It works with any card, with debit card, credit card. We're card agnostic. Even if you want to write checks and do receipts, pay with cash. We just handle the receipts side of it. With the AI and the smarts and the dashboard, we have the data and we have the advancement in AI. This thing should be able to work. And we've used crumpled up receipts, we've used old receipts, we've used anything from the biggest retailers to the smallest mom and pop shop receipts. And the AI that we're able to use just works. This thing is just works. And to address the fourth point is it works when you snap a picture on a cell phone and text it, right? You don't need some high quality image. There's no apps to download. There's no logins for your staff to remember. It's, hey, here's a phone number, text your receipt to this phone number. It's that easy. It's that easy. No apps, no logins, nothing like that. And then the third point of paying per user, our system is set up where you pay per receipt. You don't pay per user. So you can have 500 users and they just submit one receipt once a month. You just pay for that one receipt, and you only pay for new receipts. Our system stores receipts up to 7 years, all the data associated with that, all the analytics associated with that. You just pay when that new receipt comes in, and that's that. And then as a bonus, I like data, right? So from a church background, how much are we paying in tax on these receipts? Do we have any vendors where we pay a lot of tax where, hey, maybe pastor or our secretary should go down and have a chat with them and say, hey, can we set up a nonprofit account with you because it's advantageous because we're paying all this, tax going through you. Like, for example, here in town, we have a Dollar General and it may be advantageous for us to go down there and have a relationship with them where we have a nonprofit account because we spend so much, and having the reports to be able to back that up, right? Where do we spend the money? Who spends the money? How much tax have we spent? having all that data sitting there for us. So that's why rim. That's why we developed this. Now, real quick on the name, why rim? R-I-M-G. It's pronounced rim, R-I-M, spelled rim, R-I-M-G. Why that name? So I'm trying to think of a name. The first name that comes to my mind is receipt image. I mean, I'm a technical guy, data guy, that's what it is. We're collecting receipt images. And it's like, that's not a real catchy name, right? Like I'm smart enough to know that. And so I was like, hey, let's abbreviate this. So R is for receipt, and then IMG is for image. Let's smack it together. You get RIM. So welcome to the world of RIM.